Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dropped Frames. I'm the only guy without a green screen. I can't set it up. I can't actually put nails in the wall, so I have to wait because
But dude, you don't have to set up a green screen to get your fucking camera looking okay, though, do you?
I mean, my camera looks all right.
Or take a shower.
You look like Papa Smurf.
It's kind of a blue hue on you right
Oh,
now.
there's a blue hue. Oh, that's the auto function of this G40. I didn't set that up at all, to be honest.
Also, is that a hum I hear? Oh man,
Only to you guys, actually. I don't think stream hears that.
I don't hear it at all. I was just messing with you.
Okay, good. Because usually there might be a hum somewhere. When you move fucking streaming setups, it's just a nightmare. When you move your entire fucking life, and Zeke, you can attest to this too. When you move everything, it all fucks up. It all fucks up.
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
And so I spent the better part of, I don't know, Monday figuring all that out, and it's still not ironed out. But
So wait, Zeke, have you already moved? Are you in your new place?
Here's the thing. I moved into, I split up my stuff from my house, from my apartment. Half of my stuff, or like 80% of my stuff, went into storage, and then 20% of my stuff, like my clothes, toiletries, and streaming equipment, went to this little interim efficiency apartment where I'm currently staying and streaming from until the house I'm actually going to move in has vacated the current residence. So I'll just show you.
yeah.
Like, if I can take the camera here, I'll show you. See, I'm in a
Oh man.
with boxes and shit.
Damn.
That's their equipment. That's all their extra monitors and shit. There's cool doorway with
So you had
boxes of wires and whatnot. And
you had to
Wow,
move.
so you haven't even moved.
You had to
have
move
still
everything
managed
to a new place.
Still managed to get up a
Yeah.
green screen, JP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not that hard. I'm a professional streamer. I do this for a living. So
Do you
I
have
kind of
stands for your
pride in
green
what
screen?
I take pride in my job.
Do you have green screen stands, or did you put it in the wall?
I thumbtacked it to the wall.
Yeah, I didn't. I was thinking of doing that, but I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just have it for next week, hopefully. Because I'm buying a bunch of shit to go behind me, and yeah, it'll look better, hopefully.
That's the thing that the point of contention I've always had with you, JP.
Yeah.
You don't care, and people are like, "Oh, that's how he is." I don't care, and they're like, "What the fuck is this bullshit?" I come to a broadcast one day with low energy. They're like, "Zeke's sad. He's gonna kill himself. Oh God."
Maybe that. Oh God, that actually looks a little bit truer to life. Now I'm messing with the camera stuff. You guys
yeah.
got me fucking around.
You don't
Now you
look
look
blue
like-
anymore.
Now
You
you
look really angry
That
for a
looks
second.
better.
It's really
That
red.
looks a little bit.
You
better.
look like the dude from that new Pixar film, the red angry guy with the flame hair.
Yes.
I haven't seen that. There's a new Pixar movie already out. What's the name of that?
Or is it Inside Out?
Oh, okay.
that
Fantastic.
I think it's Toy Story 11.
I think Toy Story 4. No, that's 2017. I don't know what the next Pixar movie is.
It could be Land Before Time 19.
It could. They're still making those.
All right.
They
We're
still make
ignoring the
those.
guest. Can we get to the guest?
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Hi,
Sorry, we just
everybody.
like to ramble here at the beginning, and usually
it's fine.
we just don't introduce the guests. So, well, this is your first, I think, proper drop frames, but you were on the E3 shows last year.
Yes,
In fact, I think
I
you were
was
on
on
every
those.
single one of them. But how you been,
Yeah.
man?
Doing good, man. Since then, I moved to Seattle, and now I know how it is to move all of your crap, especially across country.
Yeah.
It is a nightmare because you spend so many months doing little fixes to your setup, little by little, and you forget all the little things you did, and when you have to put it all back together again, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah. It. Luckily, mine was only a 5-hour drive, but I still bubble wrapped everything. I still made sure that everything was fucking secure in the U-Haul in the back of the car because I didn't want anything being damaged. And so far, nothing's messed up. So far. Who knows if a computer's about to blow up though in the next 5 seconds? I don't. You never.
Where did you move to again, JP? And the address would be good.
I'm in San Antonio, and the address is 1234 Go Fuck Yourself on Go Fuck Yourself Lane.
Wait a minute. Is that near Shut Your Fucking Mouth Boulevard?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Dude, I
it
went to
is.
school for a guy.
You
from
went
there.
to really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We haven't had a show
Bob?
since. I do. Yeah, he's right next door. Believe it or not. We haven't had a show since before PAX East. This is the longest break we've had in drop frames in a very long time, and in fact, maybe ever. But
Well, it'll be if we hadn't done the show, it would be 2 weeks on Friday, right? Because we did one from PAX.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, because we didn't do one last week because I was in the midst of moving, and what happened? Something came out last Wednesday. Oh, Dreadnought. That's right. I guess we could just jump into that because you can no longer play that, right? There's no servers open for it anymore. Is that true or false? I don't know. I've been playing Overwatch. I think everyone played Dreadnought last week. Save for Dan. Did you check out Dreadnought at all? Do you have any interest in that?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay, so this is I think mostly going to be probably talking here because I played for maybe 2 hours, then I had to continue packing. But Dreadnought finally came out. We couldn't talk about it at all. That it was going to be launching last week, and it finally did. I'll bring up some footage. What'd you think about Dreadnought?
Dreadnought was great. They had made a lot of excellent changes since we played it. They fully developed the between round area. The ship customization was awesome. Tons of great loadouts. A leveling system that actually gives you meaningful upgrades to your units. Some of the end game abilities that you really have to work towards are really great. Like for instance, you start with like a warp that'll warp you from point A to point B. Well, one of the final warps you from point A to point B, but anything you pass through takes massive damage. And all sorts of little things like that. We also, for the first time, saw how really good alpha players were, and they are extremely good compared to the general population, which actually says a lot to the game in terms of how deep it is involving strategy and stuff. Now that's the good stuff. Unfortunately, it wasn't alpha or beta. I'm not sure which one they called it, but regardless, major server issues.
Really?
I actually at one point, a couple times in the few days that I streamed it, had to switch games just because of how long the servers had been down unexpectedly.
Oh,
some massive issues with queuing. There were reports of people being in the queue for more than 20 minutes and then actually getting in a game. So there a lot of technical issues, but when it worked, it was a blast. It was pretty much what we were hoping for. I kind of took a break from it for Overwatch because again, the server stability, especially from a streaming perspective, really, really rough. Considering, like there was one stream that I streamed it for 2 hours. I was not able to get into a round for about an hour and 10 minutes of that stream. So it's kind of hard to just stop gap. And I played a lot of Slither IO and, was just kind of like trying to keep people interested while the servers were down. But needless to say, I will be back when the game, during its next phases, have lots of plans for sub games. Unfortunately, I ran into a unique bug where I couldn't invite or friend anyone. I was like one of the only people with the bug. So my big plans for sub games I wasn't able to do, which kind of sucked. But the game itself, really fun. Lots of ships, lots of upgrades for them, and a really good time.
Yeah, I played with Lyric Shorty and Waffle right when it launched, and we had the bright idea to just paste bin all 250 of our codes. And so we put all 250 codes in there. So we had like 1,000 codes from all four of us. Put them into Pastebin. And then, with Lyric, Waffle, Shorty, and my stream at like 35,000, maybe 40,000 viewers, we decided to paste the link where you can go sign up for the beta. And that tended to crash the entire servers for everything in the game at the very launch.
Yeah.
So I played for maybe an hour and a half, and then the servers were down for a while. So we didn't get a chance to play that much.
I will say I haven't had that much fun playing with other streamers in a game since games like Overwatch and Rainbow Six and stuff. Like I played a lot with Tangent Gaming, Bike Man, Sacriel. And like I played a full day with the Coalition streaming group with some of the newer streamers it is a game that really, really works well playing with other people.
Yeah.
And it's when it releases, it's definitely going to be one of those games you can just jump in for an evening stream, play it for a couple hours with any of your subs or the streamers you want to. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
A couple of things that I didn't like right out of the gate. If you have subtitles on, they come up on screen and you can't click anything else. At least I was having that issue. I don't know if you were as well. But it was a fucking nightmare. Like to be introduced into the game and you have Brig or whatever the fuck his name is just constantly jabbering off about nonsense. And you're just trying to click things because
some people call that lore.
But like you should be able to manipulate the menus while he's doing that, not like be on this fucking railroaded tour of the menus. And I also think that you can talk about this because it looks like you understand a little bit better than I did. I felt like those menu systems were just complicated. Like there was so much going on.
Yeah, there's a huge amount more than when I had played it last at the PAXs. once you kind of understand what you're looking for and what you're doing, it's pretty intuitive. It does get to a point where you can kind of maneuver it quickly and everything. There's a few little gotchas like changing ships in your loadouts and understanding the difference between trader ships and hero ships and what you can and can't edit. But once you get all that down, it's really pretty intuitive.
Okay.
Everything that you can use is easy to use and equip, and the stuff you can't, it tells you quickly and easily why and that kind of stuff.
Good. In terms of, you said you played a bunch of the alpha players. I don't know if it was just sheer luck or they were stream sniping every other streamer, because I felt like every streamer I tuned into that day was playing the same group of alpha players that were just fucking destroying them, and they were just getting absolutely shit on.
Interestingly enough, after the first hour of playing the Dreadnought beta, all of me and my streaming buddies decided we were never queuing 5-man.
Yeah,
because
really?
anytime you queued 5-man, you went up against the people that have been playing in the closed alpha for 50 plus hours.
Yeah.
And it's just like they are completely impenetrable in some cases. They'll pick like, two Dreadnoughts, a destroyer, and 2 healers, and they'll just stay in a little cluster. Like none of them stray out. So you can't kill any of them because the 2 healers would keep them healed. You can't kill one of the healers because they're on comms with each other and they immediately start healing each other. So it was nearly impossible to beat them. I heard, funny enough, that a couple times the alpha teams would face off against each other, and their rounds would almost inevitably end with none of them dying.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, like they were both the teams would be so good that
was
they
like a
wouldn't be able
stalemate.
to breach each other's turtling. So that only happened a few times though. I think they eventually found strats around it, but they had to be like specialty strats with multiple corvettes coordinating for alpha strikes and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, I'll probably jump back in whenever it goes live just for a little bit, but I don't know. It didn't quite grab me as much as it did at PAX, but maybe that was because wow, that ramp was pretty cool right there from the Corvette. Maybe it was just I didn't have I wasn't playing with 4 other streamers, Maybe that was the big issue. Zeke or Dan, do you guys have any issues?
I was the guy at the PAXs going how can I can't move? Someone help me! I don't know how to move.
It is a little bit weird.
Now, where are my lasers?
Yeah, it is a little bit weird getting used to the control screen. I mean, there's a lot more going on with up and down movement, and then you got to learn all the different weapons and how to manipulate all those properly.
I am not shitting you. This game, I played through the tutorial and stuff. I would much appreciate playing this game with the old flying simulator
joystick.
Yeah,
with the pedals. I would love to feel like I was in a cockpit.
Yeah.
Yep. Also pretty crazy. Some of the little corvettes you can get, the speed of them.
Yeah.
It feels like you're playing a wing commander or a freelancer. They can move so quickly once you get the next level of ships and corvettes. I was absolutely loving them. I have a highlight up on my YouTube. The first TDM I did with one of these really fast little ships. TDM, it's 5-on-5. You can only kill them 10 times total because it's 2 rounds. I got 8 kills in that thing.
Yeah. I've only played Corvette.
And I was just going stealth and going between the mountains and stuff. It was so much fun.
It feels really cool when that happens. I've only played the Dreadnought stuff or the bigger ships for 2 or 3 rounds. And like you said, it just felt so slow. It felt like it took forever to do anything. And then you get in a position where if there even was a healer, he couldn't get to you and you would just die.
Yep.
They're gonna. I wonder how much of an issue, and I'm sure they're aware of it, but how they're gonna solve. Because you can play Overwatch solo, right? You point and click, you shoot someone. Everyone knows how to WASD and walk around. In this game, it's position is pretty much everything. I feel this is granted. Who knows if this is actually true? This is my own experiences, but I feel like position is so much of an important thing, and working together as a team and having a cohesive group that I don't know how you teach that in a public atmosphere. How you force players to work together in that regard.
So you're absolutely right. Yep. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
It's like a game where if you don't work as a team, you're just going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, 100%.
That's right. And not only that, to add to what you said, JP, it's battlefield awareness. Knowing where your healers are, what they're doing, the damage of your other ships, so if you're in a position to be healed. There's a lot of parts to this game. that really just kind of come with time. Like you kind of learn what to do with time. Like with those big slow ships, you'll eventually learn to just stay by the healers. Like the first thing you do in the round is you see which ships are your healers and you kind of position yourself so you're always near them. That works beautifully. Also, something I didn't know until like 3 hours in, there's a whole set of call commands you can do. So you can actually like hold down F and drag down. It'll say, you'll tell your team repair me, and a repair icon will start flashing above your head.
Oh,
you can mark targets to have your people alpha and like all sorts of stuff in there. But if you don't use those, and if no one on your team is using them and the other team is, you're totally screwed.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
You can be one of those annoying assholes when you're playing any other game that has a healer going, I need heals. Heal me now. I need heals. Why aren't you healing me?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I got a roll then. I can play that role.
There you go. There you go. Been there, done that, Zeke. I do that all the time.
I know. Oh my god, I hate you so much.
Exactly. Dan, any interest in Dreadnought? You're not too big of a multiplayer guy, so does this pull you towards it?
I've been trying to get to play more multiplayer games lately. Like I even tried out Battleborn the other day when it came out. Yeah, so like I've been wanting to get into games like this, and I'll just try them out because I'm mostly a single player guy, but I've been trying to branch out and do some more multiplayer stuff. And this seems like a great team game.
Yeah.
And I've seen it at like every PAX. It's good to see that it's actually playable now. Yeah,
they had a lot of good hype. Pretty much every like the past 4, maybe 3 PAXs. I would come out of that. Man, I want to play more Dreadnought. That was so much fun.
So is it in beta or is it released?
It was like in a closed beta I don't think it's still live. Cohh probably knows better than I do.
I actually don't know if it's still live. I know that there was Dreadnought was really cool, by the way. This is a good opportunity to shout this out. The Dreadnought devs were incredibly cool. They like worked with Twitch to have like a special streamer window of the closed beta where they got as many streamers as they could. They kind of like tried to keep the servers up and operational as much as they could. They had like people there 24 hours to watch the servers so the streamers could stream it for those 3 days. Unfortunately, they still had tech problems out of their control, but they did what they could. But that being said, I remember that they were going to do the streaming thing and then the closed beta after it, but I don't know how long the close. I think you can still play right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Chat's saying they're still live, but they're doing maintenance right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, it should be playable still after that, I think too.
Cool. Well, that.
And by the way, Dan, if you know other streamers, and JP, this goes for you too, they can message the Dreadnought guys and they'll get them access and everything.
Huge shout out to Thor, the community manager for Greybox and for Dreadnought. He was just on top of it. Really cool to see that a public facing person that is basically looking for streamers, like hunting down people on Twitter, like take this fucking key and play this goddamn game. Like it's really cool to see that initiative from a game like this.
It's really funny, man, because when Andy left that position that Thor is in now, we were like, man, what are these guys gonna do? They lost their Andy. Like, what are they gonna do? And then all of a sudden Thor's here and it's like, oh, Thor is their Andy.
Yeah, okay. He filled the role perfect,
and he does it great. So it's like that's perfect for them.
Yeah, he did an awesome job there. I want to switch over to Battleborn because Cohh, did you touch Battleborn?
Before we go on to another game, can we like do the whole interview bullshit with Dan?
What interview? Everyone knows Dan. He's been on before.
He has.
Well, he's been on the E3 shows, not a proper show.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, see,
do you have a specific question for Dan?
You know that preliminary bullshit Zeke, with everybody.
Would you like to interview Dan?
Zeke, would you like to, have a word with Dan?
I am just trying to host it. You guys are making me laugh.
I appreciate it, Zeke. You're trying real hard.
Do that whole shit, like, how'd you get started? Like, I want to know because I don't know these things.
Okay, all right.
Because I've never heard your origin story.
You know what? I just realized I haven't either. What?
Dan's one of the OGs. I thought everyone knew this.
Well, everyone knows that, but no, like I don't know where he came from, besides his mother. I'm assuming.
Yes, I did come from her.
Okay, there you go. That's the story.
All right,
Battleborn
out of the way.
No, I guess Dan, do a little bit of your origin story, your beginnings, because you're from the OG crew. You, Lethal Frag, Mavericks Game, those are kind of the guys I think of the OG group. So a little bit of an origin story.
All right. So I first started on Twitch. It will be 7 years coming August. So it was Justin TV back in the day. But yeah, I started on Justin TV watching 4Player Podcast and Swifter and Craig on Hot Blooded Gaming. They were like the 3 big ones back in the day. And so I just decided, I'll try out this streaming thing because someone had a guide on one of their channels and I followed it, did that stupid Flash Media encoder and the old school stuff. That was a nightmare. But yeah, so I started streaming and I didn't like it. I stopped streaming after doing it for like a week.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't care for it. I didn't like it very much. And then like 2 weeks later, I was like, you know what? I'll try that streaming thing again. And then I did it steadily for years after that, and I've never stopped. But just getting that start, it didn't click with me at first. I didn't really get it or feel it. But the second time I came back, I started to connect with people more in the audience, and that's what really changed it, is when you start connecting with other people.
Yep.
Because when I started Twitch, I was in a really bad place where I was lonely all the time. I was in financial troubles. It was just a really hard time for me. And streaming gave me those brief moments of respite from all that, where I didn't have to think about my real life and I could be entertaining and make other people happy. And that, and when you're really depressed and in a dark spot, having people rely on you is so helpful, because knowing that you need to be there for them, and that really helps you during these times. And so over the years, I've gone from a very, very quiet, reserved person to a not as much. I'm still kind of reserved, but not quite as much. And Twitch has really helped me with that over the years of growing with my audience as a person. Like, I never thought that I would ever be on the top, because I never thought I would be entertaining at all. But somehow, I grew as a streamer and learned how to be entertaining, and to some degree. And 6 years later, here I am, one of the people say top broadcasters, but yeah, it's been a long journey for me. And I started Twitch, started just to be renting a bedroom that I could barely afford, and now I'm moved in Seattle, working with other streamers every day. It's just like a dramatic life change for me over the past 6 years.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've always admired most about you is you're the guy that I can always count on to be there regardless of what else is going on. Like, you're the consistent guy. I think you and Cohh both are probably the two most consistent people on Twitch as a whole. Like, you stream every single day, and if you don't, you feel really bad about it.
Yeah. I has always had the philosophy that if I'm blessed enough to be able to play video games for a living, I should freaking do it. No matter what's going on, no matter, I may not be feeling great, but I know that once I force myself over that hump to stream, I will be in a good place and be able to stream. I feel so blessed to be able to do this full time that I feel like I owe it to the audience to be there full time for them, no matter what. There's no excuse great enough, except for medical emergency, to keep me from streaming.
One of the flaws about that is I've been scrolling through your VODs since we started talking about this. I'm only in 2014. I'm still scrolling. My screen's starting to lag now because of all the VODs that have loaded, because I'm trying to get to your first stream. I don't know if you have this hosted on YouTube or somewhere, but right now we're in the, oh God, I just hit October. This is going to be even longer because you do Halloween Horror Month. Speaking of that, so you've been doing that for 7 years? Is that right?
Yeah. This will be the 6th year. I didn't do it the first year.
Okay.
But yeah. I started Horror Month back in the day because of 4Player Podcast. They did a horror month where they would sometimes play games at night that were horror some days throughout the month, and that was their horror month. And I was like, I can do it better. So I was like, I want to do a month, a month-long marathon of horror. So I spent 3 months playing horror games and making recordings so I could stay online all the time. This is back when I was working a full-time job as well as streaming.
What were you doing, by the way?
I was going to ask that. didn't want to interrupt him, though, Cohh.
I was a hair loss prevention researcher. It didn't work out too well. No, I worked at a Barnes and Noble store, this retail
I was like,
stuff.
Are you fucking with me, dude?
Yeah.
Hey, Zeke, if you could stop interrupting Dan, please.
Okay, I think I found one of your. This is from 2010, in March. Do you remember the month that you first started streaming?
I streamed. I think it was August 2009 was the start.
Okay, it doesn't.
But
You don't go that far.
I had
back.
a name change in 2010, I think.
Really?
From my original screen name, which was Wizard D52986, to Dansgaming.
Good choice. Good choice.
I had a
Very good choice.
terrible screen name.
Shit house.
Yeah, and the Twitch staff came to me after Horror Month and was asked if they could do anything for me, and I was like, "Is it possible to do a name change?" And they're like, "You know what? We don't know." So they tried it out on my channel. That was the first one they tried it for, and it actually worked, and they were able to transfer everything over. But yeah, it's when I. So yeah, about 2010 is when they switched everything over. So I don't know if the videos are still on before that date or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is the Morden Can Sing portion, all the way from Justin TV back in 2010.
I love that scene so much.
It's so good. It just comes out of nowhere in that game. It's fantastic.
Did Twitch really used to have this Justin TV logo like this?
Oh yeah, they put that on every video.
And what the fuck is this monkey? I don't remember this monkey thing.
Monkey faces. You see the monkey faces emotes?
Yeah, that's where it came from. Is he holding like a Pokeball or some shit in his right shoulder?
I think it's supposed to be a camera, and he's like,
"Oh, okay."
It's funny. I actually found 4Player Podcast through YouTube back in the day, and I thought that they were Justin.tv. That was their site, because on all their videos was the Justin.tv tag. And the only way I found Justin TV is when I typed it in one day, and I found, oh, this is a streaming site. I had no idea.
I'm just looking. When did you start introducing like overlays to your stream? Because I don't see any.
Oh,
it seems
God,
like overlays didn't take part until much later on.
Yeah, overlays and cameras weren't like super popular for a while. I can't even remember the date, but it was at least a couple years afterwards, that I started at. My first overlay was actually the subscriber overlay.
I remember watching these streams.
Oh God, yeah, the Get Fit with Mel B streams. Those were interesting. I did fitness games on stream.
Yeah. How did you green screen? Like what? Is that? That's the PlayStation Eye or whatever.
PlayStation Eye camera that would auto green screen a little bit.
Nice. I like it.
I was very agile, as you could tell.
I like it. You still do, or at least you've done these in recent history, right? In the past year or so. I remember seeing some sort of like active stream.
Once I moved, it's been harder to do them, but I'm trying to come up with a way to do it again because I've gotten kind of fat again. So I need to do them again to lose a little bit of weight.
Let's just admire. I don't want to play
my gracefulness.
You have a wall. You cheat with that wall. You have a wall right next to you.
Yeah, thank God for that, or I've been busting my ass many times.
Oh man. Do you
always start these out very energetic and happy, but then like 10 minutes into it, I would be screaming, "This bitch!" And I get really upset with her.
Trying to see do you have like more? You did a bunch of dance streams as well. I wonder if you have highlights of those somewhere. Do you have like a favorite stream that just comes to mind the second you think about it over the past 6 years of your streaming career?
Probably Harvester in 2012. That was a really, really good game that's hilarious, and it was just a joy to cast.
You and Zeke just became kindred spirits.
Yes.
Just recently played that like a month ago.
Yeah, the humor is so dark and twisted, and I fucking love it.
Yeah. It was a wonderful game and a wonderful stream for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of my favorites.
Looks like you started like 4 years ago. You finally started updating or uploading the Let's Plays to YouTube, which I got to be honest, there's a lot of Twitch streamers that don't do that anymore. Do you still upload pretty much everything to YouTube, right? In terms of full playthroughs?
I try to when I can, but it's a matter of laziness. Like you spend all this time editing and chopping up these videos and putting them on the site and not getting maybe getting a couple bucks, if that, over the life of a video. If you don't have a lot of numbers, you don't make much money on YouTube. It's kind of hard to have that motivation,
right,
to do them all.
Right, getting nothing for the amount of work that you put in for that crap is definitely.
There's definitely a joy to Twitch where you press the button and then you hit stop and then that part is done and then you can go on to other planning and stuff.
Right. I never saw your Africa playthrough. That must have been good. Wait, did you have a Japanese? How did you play Africa? I didn't even think that was possible on a US PS3?
They ported Africa to United States, but in very limited numbers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kind of a rarer game, but yeah, it is available on the for North American PS3s.
Zeke,
That was like a year after I started using a camera too.
Okay. Zeke, you should try to find a copy of Africa.
Okay.
I think this game would serve you well.
Yes, Zeke would love it.
It's
Is it weird or like?
You go. The goal of the game is to go around filming different animals in Africa and documenting them, and it's really. I think you would be able to find a lot of humor in it.
Okay. Okay.
You could do the whole, you could dress up like like an African safari guide.
What system was this originally on?
PS3.
PS3.
Okay. Okay.
I'll
give it a look.
I mean, it basically looks like this. Like this is, from what I remember, this is basically the entire game.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I want to play it and just loop Toto over and over. And
That'd be great.
just, like sitting there's. I was raised out in Africa. Gonna take time to think sweet ever had.
It'd be good. That'd be good.
Wow.
No, I was gonna say like Dan was one of the first people I caught on the Justin TV days because I was introduced to it. Obviously, my first game, but it was like people said it was Craig and Dan, Lethal Frag, Swifter. Like those are the guys I point to as being like the people I first like watched, and it's know your roots. And you said 2009, August 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started like my dumb, stupid first broadcast in August 2010.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. But I remember like you were an entire year before me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty upset that I wish I was an 09er, but instead I'm a fucking 010er or a 10er. I started in
You're
February.
making me feel weird now.
Yeah, mine was
like,
February.
You see the jerseys walking around, like
Mine's
he's got the swag. It's like you see Swift and Dan with their 09 jerseys on.
Yeah. I wish I had that. I just have a fucking 10. I mean, I should just make my own and just put an 09 on there, just so I feel better.
No, 10's pretty good though.
10's all right.
10's pretty good. That's 6 years, bro.
That's not. It's not
bro,
bad.
Listen, bro. 6 years, bro.
It's not bad. Co, you started in 13, 14?
I started in April of 2013.
13. Yeah.
So I'm a youngin comparatively.
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'd say you're middle tier now. You're middle tier.
Yeah,
There
for
you go.
sure.
There you go.
And GQ too. Yeah, right. GQ was up there.
Yeah. I wonder, like, who would have?
Spamfish.
Let me look at Lethal. Is it? Would Lethal be older than Spamfish? Let me look at Social Blade. I don't even know like who the biggest, oldest broadcaster would be right now. Let's see. Lethal Frag didn't start till 2011.
When did all the big LoL players start doing their thing?
Oh my God, Spamfish is an 08er.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around
Whoa.
forever.
He started
For a
in
long time.
April 27th of 2008. That
Wow.
might be one of the oldest. Man was an 09er as well.
Up Swifter. Yep. Swifter's been on a long time.
Let's
That's
see what
true.
his was. His was 08 as well. He started in February of 08. That might be one of the oldest accounts in terms of
Nice.
a broadcaster, a large broadcaster that's that old.
Tally's probably up there too.
Yep.
Let's see. Tally was 2011. Yeah.
Was Bajira an old timer, or was he?
I
newer?
think no. He started. We did when we did WoW fandom. We were talking about like when we started playing WoW. He didn't start playing World of Warcraft until like Cataclysm, which is like the third expansion, and he had never played prior to that at all. Because we were talking about like old school WoW and stuff like that, and he just sat silent for an hour and a half, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude? I thought you like played old school WoW." He just didn't have anything to contribute to the show.
Yep,
who
a
else?
couple other ones. Soda Poppin' and Duck Sauce. The chat has said that. Good job, chat. I think they're both pretty old.
Duck Sauce is 2012. Soda Poppin' is 2011. Yeah.
Man, shit. Where are these noobs? Come
Yeah.
on.
It seems like most broadcasters started around 2011. Around
Yeah,
that size.
2011 I think was when the esports started popping up on Justin TV a lot, and
Yep.
that brought a lot of attention to the site.
Yeah, that was the heyday of StarCraft 2. So that's definitely when
Now, are
MLG
you
and
looking on Social Blade?
I am, yeah. I'm just pulling them up on Social Blade.
That's saying Lyric started
Lyric started
late.
2011.
Yeah,
I just looked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
After Tally, yeah, because he was a mod for Tally.
Lyric was a Tally mod. Yep.
Yep. I don't know why we're still watching Africa. By the
I
way.
know we're still watching.
Dude, I'm like, whatever.
I just started
That
doing.
cheetah.
I started messing around on this other monitor. I'm like, he got that cheetah shot. What was that? Jesus. Yeah, you should definitely play this game. So it could be funny. You would make it a great cast because I know you would cosplay as like a safari guy. Then you could just play fucking Toto Africa nonstop.
What do you mean, Safari guy? I'd cosplay as the fucking animal.
Yeah, you'd be the cheetah.
I'd be the gazelle. No, I'm graceful like a gazelle.
You're graceful like a gazelle. Okay.
Have you seen me dance and or jump?
I'd probably be if I was an African animal or just an animal in general, I'd probably be either a hippo or an elephant. Because no one fucks with a hippo or elephant in the animal kingdom. Elephants do get fucking destroyed by poachers, but no one in the animal kingdom fucks with them.
No,
Very
dude,
rarely.
with your hair the way it is, I'd wildebeest.
You think? Let me look.
With
Let me
the
look at
hair?
wildebeest. Let me look.
Oh,
Maybe. I mean, let me bring it up here.
I think Ko would be a meerkat.
Ko is
That's
a
exactly
meerkat.
what I would be.
Ko's a
How
meerkat.
did you know that?
Done. Ko's a meerkat.
I was actually gonna say like I would be a meerkat.
That's
and
a wildebeest
I
right
would
there.
be overseeing a small colony of meerkats that would eventually learn how to take down larger game via bites and small tools.
Here. So
And we would find JP and we would kill and eat him.
there you go. Zeke, here's a very interesting story. When I was in choir around the age of, 11, I sang Hakuna Matata and I was Pumbaa. So me and Ko could one day, if we get drunk enough, we could do Hakuna Matata. He could be Timon and I'll be Pumbaa.
Cheers to that.
There you go. If that ever happens, I will delete that footage immediately. So
We'll have to get really drunk at a TwitchCon.
we'll have to get really fucking drunk.
TwitchCon 2021.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh my god, that would be so awesome.
When we're both just too old to care anymore.
Yeah, and then you say I could be Simba?
Would you be Simba? No, you'd be Rafiki.
Timon and Pumbaa, and I'd be Simba.
You'd be Rafiki.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, Rafiki's the best. Who would dance? Yeah,
No!
that's still my alarm every morning when I wake up.
Is it really?
It is totally. Dan, who would Dan be once
animal would
first
Dan
in
be?
the African world and two in Lion
Could Zeke
King?
hold up Dan in front of the audience?
Maybe Dan would be Simba. I'm trying to
I would
think.
probably be Scar, actually.
You'd be Scar, you
Yeah.
think?
I have a little bit of an evil side. I would like
Okay.
to be Scar.
I could see that.
Okay,
I could totally see that.
be into that.
Be prepared.
You know who? I'm just throwing this out there. You know who would be Iago? It'd be fucking Giant Waffle, 100% without
Oh
question.
God, yeah.
Giant
Yeah.
Waffle is Iago. That's just the fail.
Yep.
That's done. That's it. That's over. It's done.
It's done.
It's done. Close. Case closed. What the fuck were we talking? How do Africa is what happens when you start talking about that game?
Oh, I wouldn't be Rafiki. I'd be one of the hyenas for sure.
Oh, you think? Did they have names? Yeah, they did have names. I don't remember them though.
Heckle and Jekyll, right?
Was that actually true? I think you just made that up on the spot.
No, I think the Flotsam and Jetsam were the eels, were the electric eels in Mermaid.
Mhm.
And I thought Heckle and Jekyll were the hyenas.
There were 3 of them. I can't remember the names of them though.
Let me
Oh,
see.
maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I could be.
Hyena, Lion King. Completely off topic here, but who cares?
Thanks, Africa.
I don't think they. Oh, no, Bonsai, Ed, and Shinzi. Those were the names.
Okay. I'll be Bonsai then.
Shinzi was the former leader, and what the? Why does the wiki of the Lion King have like former? All right, we're going down. I'm just closing that page. Let's talk about video games.
Video game. Thank you for hanging out with us for our Lion King.
Yeah, tune in next week. We'll talk about what's Toy Story 1. That's what we're gonna talk about. Toy Story 1.
I am Mr. Potato Head.
Buzz Lightyear.
Jesus.
I'll be Woody.
Jesus. I don't know who I'd be. I don't know. You guys took all the notable characters. I don't know who I'd be.
You'd be one of the little green alien dudes that like
You'll be the pig.
Bounces around.
Yeah, the pig
There
man.
we go. Yeah.
What's the pig's name?
Bacon? I don't know.
Is it?
The piggy bank.
Yeah, no, I know the character. I don't remember the name though.
Come on, let's move on. We're getting sidetracked.
I know. I was about to look it up because I want to know that name. But anyways, Dan's an OG. To bring it back, Dan's an OG. He's been streaming for quite some time. He's also. I think you also play maybe the widest array of games out there as well. You don't really have You're probably like the truest variety streamer I think on Twitch because people will play like 2 or 3 days where they have a fallback game. You don't have a fallback game. Maybe Hearthstone would be your fallback game right now, but
Yeah, like I get bored of playing a game for. It just depends on the game. Some games I can play for long periods of time, but I get bored if I play a game for too long. With exceptions, like Skyrim is one of those games that I go back to a lot. But
you have played the Elder
I mod
Scrolls
it.
series a lot,
It's different every time. That's the reason why I can keep going back to that. But yeah, I just have such a wide taste in games, and I like switching games because it switches the audience too. Like if I'm playing a totally different game that may have lower viewers, I'll be attracting people that would never have watched if I was playing something else. So it's a good way to grow as a variety streamer is to have a large variety of games. So you're constantly attracting new people to your channel that have never seen you before.
Now, do you find you
That's
do better when you play the more like older games or like the more outlandish games or stuff like that than you do playing the AAA titles or not?
It depends. Sometimes you play an older game that everyone loves and you do really well because like usually hardly anyone's streaming that game. I was playing Theme Hospital the other day.
I saw
like
that.
a classic game, and
That was a great stream, by the way.
and people love that game, and they attach to it, and they like want to watch that because it's from their childhood. And other games, like everyone on Twitch will be playing it. It's a brand new release, and everyone has their same audience because everyone's split across the site. There's that huge hype. So it just depends on the game, really. Some games are huge, some games are not.
Do you enjoy like the launch day of it? So like Uncharted 4 next week. Do you enjoy day one where every motherfucking streamer on Twitch is going to be playing that, or do you wait? What's your process on that?
I usually play the game on release every time.
Okay.
Because you just have to. Like,
Yeah.
I could wait, but if I wait, then people know the story, and it's more likely I'll get spoiled from chat. So there's those kind of considerations too.
Okay. Interesting. I originally wanted to talk to you about Battleborn because I'll be honest, I've watched 30 minutes of Battleborn. I have no interest in playing Battleborn whatsoever. Did you or Zeke, did you guys check it out at all? Because it's out. It's in the wild. Nothing.
Oh, Overwatch, and that's it.
For me, I get asked all the time if I'm going to play, and I might try it out sometime. But the big kicker for me is I've looked enough into it to see that it's basically a MOBA. And people that have played it a long time have said, yeah, it's Smite with a whole bunch of cool new features. And they say that as a good thing. But for me, like, I'm not hugely into MOBAs. So I haven't tried it yet, to be totally fair. And I may try it someday just to kind of see how it plays and see how it does. And it does have all sorts of really interesting features, like the inventory and the out-of-item ability stuff and the whole ability loadout and everything. But I don't know. It's the same. I feel the same way about Battleborn as I do Paragon, where it's like it's got some cool things that just it's doing. But am I going to want to play this game for 5 hours?
Yeah.
And I can't see myself doing that. So we'll see. I haven't tried it yet. The short answer. I'm very interested to see what Dan thinks.
Yeah, Dan, you played it for 5. You played it for about 6 hours. This is the single player, right? Like I've never seen this.
So I went into there like I had never played it. I kept thinking in my head, oh, it's just some knockoff MOBA or Battlefield or Overwatch clone. And I went into it expecting it to be boring and stopped playing it after a little while. But I actually was having a lot of fun with it, surprisingly, because there are 2 modes in the game. There's the PvP mode, which there's a MOBA style thing, and then there's also a co-op mode where you compete. You're a team of 5, and you're versus the AI only, and it's like story maps. And the problem I had with the game is that it is fun, and it's while you're playing it, you're having a good time. The characters are unique and stuff, but it's kind of light on content because there's only 20 characters. there's only 8 story maps, and there's only 6 PvP maps. And of those 6 PvP maps, there are 3 modes for PvP, and each mode only has 2 maps. So if you like the MOBA, if you want to do like PvP MOBAs, there's a map for that called, I think it's Incursion. You only have 2 maps, and you're going to alternate between those 2 maps over and over and over again. And there's only 20 characters, and half of them aren't going to be very viable in PvP. So there'll be less than that. People will be playing the same things over and over again. So I just worry that it's light on content right now, and that people will get bored of it quickly. But I was surprised by how much fun it was, the co-op story missions.
Yeah, I'm watching this and I'm thinking like, this looks kind of fun.
Like right here, we're on a story map, and I'm with 3 other people, and we're fighting waves of AI enemies. It's a lot like there's a lot of defense. Like you have to defend points from the waves of enemies, sort of thing.
So okay, all right, that kind of turned me off again.
Yeah,
I've played that game a billion times. It's been done over and over.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and that does get like at first it's fun, but then after a couple hours of it, I was getting kind of bored of it.
So
already,
you just play this over and over, right?
Yeah, I played the story maps, story modes. I tried to do the PvP multiplayer, but the servers were having a lot of issues. A lot of people couldn't log in, and I spent a good 5 minutes waiting in the queue for a game. Finally got into a lobby, waited another 3 minutes for everyone to complete their selections and all that stuff and get ready. And as soon as we're about to go into the game, we all get disconnected. And I was just like, ugh.
Launch day, it's probably they're just getting hammered, I would imagine.
Yes, I imagine they're not going to have too many issues with player overload soon, though.
Dan, do you see yourself going back to it?
I see myself. It's a game that you maybe like play once in a while, just for a couple rounds. Because if you play for too much in a row, it does get repetitive. The only reason I would want to go back is because there was a character I was trying to unlock. It was called Toby, which is a penguin in a mech suit, and I just wanted to play that. That was my whole drive for continuously playing, was to unlock that character. But as I said, there's only 20 characters, so that drive to unlock characters won't be there forever. But yeah, I can see myself playing it occasionally. I don't know if I'll stream it though. It's one of those games.
Yeah,
Who is this made by again?
Gearbox.
Gearbox.
It's
Yeah.
people that made
Borderlands.
and
I was gonna say it looks like Borderlands.
And
Yeah.
I've heard if you like the Borderlands style of humor, apparently it has just been put right into Battleborn.
Really?
Like it is.
Yes.
It's all there.
They had a lot of the similar humor of, like people saying the stuff and they'll bleep it out, like the announcers and stuff. The very, very Borderlands style humor. Even the bosses and stuff are kind of funny. They try really hard, and often they kind of miss the humor, but they try to be funny.
see this type of stuff looks really like.
Yeah, this
If
is one
they
of the
would have
boss
just
fights in the
done
game.
this and not, obviously putting in the PvP stuff is going to be good because people enjoy that. But like, this is the type of stuff that I expect from Gearbox that I would play if it was.
Yeah, like these boss fights are fun. Like
Yeah, I've never seen them promote this ever.
Well,
Yeah,
JP,
like this was fun. I was having a blast in the boss fights. There's only a handful of them, but they are a lot of fun. They are very different from each other.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Co?
This is the kind of thing you'd want though in like 10+ hour epic co-op story. game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
how
a little
long?
different when it's just like a map with a boss at the end.
How long
And
did
then
it take you to complete this? Like one playthrough of the story, Dan?
Each one of the maps takes about 25 to 30 minutes for story mode.
Ah, okay. And what do you get for doing this?
At the end, you level up. You get higher command ranks, which if you level up enough, it unlocks the other characters automatically. Otherwise, there's challenges to unlock characters if you want. And then you get the loot crates, which are you open them up and you get items, and they're of varying power. Like usually, like you have 300 more health and regenerate health over time, and you have to activate it by using the in-game currency. You see next to my little character portrait on the left of me is a little gold number thing.
Where's my
You
cursor?
can spend that gold to turn on these items to give you buffs in the game. So you have to earn money to turn them on.
And they only give you buffs in the story?
Mushroom Man?
Yeah, my character right now is I was a ninja mushroom man that does very low damage but heals a lot. Heals the party. Like I have tons of healing for the party. So it's support class.
They do. I really like a lot of the character designs in this game.
Yeah, they're all very different from each other and quite fun.
They went somewhere that like you don't typically see of games of this ilk. But I don't know, man. I don't like. I look at this and it's just like I'd rather just be. But I'd say I'd rather be playing Overwatch for a lot of games. So.
Like this game costs $60 at launch.
Oh, it's not free to play.
Overwatch is 40, and I think has more content and it's more fun.
I didn't know this game. I thought this game was free to play.
No, it's not.
No idea it was $60.
$60, but there is no microtransactions in the game itself. So there's a trade-off there. It does feel like a free-to-play game, but it's not.
Interesting.
You pay $60 for it, plus a season pass for more characters and stuff.
I didn't know that was a $60 game.
Right now, to play Battleborn, you have to pay $60.
Yep, you have to pay.
Wow.
All right.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Zeke comes in with what everyone's thinking.
I'm kind of like not into that anymore. Fuck, man. I just wish they.
Well, I mean, for a game that's like, I've watched just this little section of it, and from what I know of like the Borderlands style and stuff, it's a game that I like. The Borderlands games in and of themselves as well are games that I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, okay,
yeah,
another one of these. All right. It just gets repetitive, like you said, and
now,
I'm wondering if this game is it. I mean, for the layperson that can only buy like one game maybe a month, would you say it's worth the $60 for them?
I would say most people would probably regret their purchase after a couple of days because they grow bored of it.
Okay.
I think after this game has had a lot of more maps added, more characters over time, and they release it down the road for a price of everything together, like they always do, I think that would be a much better solid game than the way it is right now.
Okay.
So final question from me on this, because I'm sure we got a lot more to talk about. But I noticed in chat someone said $60 for the game and $20 for the season pass.
Yes.
Of
so
course,
I'm assuming
there's season pass.
more content coming out in like a DLC thing. Has there been any word on that content? Is it going to be like filling in the negatives we've been talking about? Does anyone know?
I saw the season pass details, and they said there'll be character packs and some more maps for the game. So that's so they'll be adding more maps and more characters with the season pass.
Cool. Okay.
Now, did you play any of the multiplayer aspect of it, Dan? Not the single player, but like the PvP stuff. I guess is the best way to.
Yeah, I tried to get into PvP, but the servers were just terrible.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if they're doing any better. The other thing about this game that I saw, granted, this was last night at 2 or 3 a.m. Not very many people streaming it. I don't know what that is indicative of. I just know that there was maybe 2,000 people watching this game on launch day.
Yeah, I looked at the game category on the first day when it was launched, and Overwatch had tripled viewers, tripled, quadruple viewers of Battleborn, which is released.
By the time I looked, it was 10x.
Yeah. One thing that could mean though is if you're a newer streamer and you like Battleborn, stream this game because there's probably no one streaming this game otherwise, and you could probably grow an audience from that.
It's like the Division is right now, except weeks ago.
Yeah. Division, by the way, very interesting. Sexy Exy has been averaging like 4 to 5K on that game.
Oh, really? The Division is still like doing shit?
Well, the Division is still chugging along, even though it's been like plagued with issues over the last few weeks. I don't even play it, and I know about all the issues because people keep coming in the chat and talking about them. It's been
interesting.
It's been bad. Yeah.
That's been a very interesting
but there's people that love it. There's people that are still playing it every day for hours and hours.
Of course there is, There's crazy people out there in the world.
Rude.
Someone
crazy people like crazy who give Game of the Year to a game isn't even released yet. Oh yeah.
Look, is everyone else enjoying it right now? That's all. I'm already. I don't have to say anything else. All right.
All right, Blueberry. Whatever you say, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. So Dan,
you're turning violet.
That movie's fantastic, by the way. If you've never seen Inside Out, you should go watch Inside Out. It's fucking.
Oh, I was talking about Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that's Willy Wonka.
I heard Violet, and Violet was a character in Inside Out, I think. But that is.
Oh, right.
Willy Wonka, great movie too. Dan, someone linked me a video. This is your first VOD ever on Twitch from October 26, 2009. You're playing Neverwinter Nights 2. I just want to show this off real quick.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I don't think I've ever seen that streamed on Twitch. That is so cool.
Oh, that's forever ago.
Can I look
Did
at
you wrestle with the camera and controls as much as I did, Dan?
Oh my god, I
Yes.
can look at the video stats.
This
of
was like that was when the game first released, and before they patched a bunch of stuff that fixed it. It was a nightmare. Like it was plagued with bugs and camera issues and just all sorts of glitches.
So you
but
were
it was so
streaming.
much fun at the same time.
You were streaming at 580 by 306 at 25 FPS.
Yep.
It doesn't
that's-
say the bit rate of the stream, I don't think, unless I missed
Yeah,
it.
my internet. I think I had half a megabit of upload, so it
Oh
was.
no, you're streaming at 500 kilobyte, 500 kbs.
Yeah, I had a really weak computer, I had a really crappy internet, and I did the best I could with what I had. Yeah, so it's all pixely and low res. Yeah, that was my stream for a good year before I got a good computer.
That's what you had. Like
No,
my
yeah,
first,
yeah.
now my first stream was on a fucking middle of the road like Toshiba laptop. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people are asking, like, "Oh, do I need this to stream? Do I need this?" No, you don't need that shit to stream.
No, you
The
don't.
stream is the will, is the want.
Yeah.
You know,
Someone told me yesterday, they were like, yeah, I really want to start streaming, but I'm saving up for my streaming computer right now. And I was like, dude, just get started, man. You don't need 2 computers to start streaming, for the love of
I
God.
can fucking fry an egg on my laptop after an hour, just like.
Yeah.
I have seen countless Kickstarters of people raising money to buy a PC to start a YouTube gaming channel.
Yeah,
or Twitch
I've
channel.
seen that
Yep.
too, man.
Patreons too. Yeah.
Yeah, Patreons. It's like, I don't understand. You don't need that to start. And even if, like, how are people going to back you if they haven't seen anything you've done? You've never streamed before. You've never done anything. And you want people to give you money, right? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, someone told me to look up your old intro when you switched to HD. I've never seen this. Is this your old intro?
Oh, that was, I remember on Just TV, I was finally had enough internet to stream in 720p. It was like 2 or 3 years into my broadcast. I finally could do 720p, and I made some little video for it, and that's what it was.
Oh, okay. I was starting to think this was custom, but then I just saw, like
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Castlevania and Final
It's
Fantasy.
just clips
Uncharted,
of videos and stuff.
yeah.
I never really had a proper intro.
Oh my god, he just had the Force Unleashed in there. That game was
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck. I wish that game was not as bad as it was.
Yeah, it's the first mission started so good. It was so much a badass.
You just felt like a badass, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's the end of it where the starts to form.
Oh, yeah, that was custom made. That little part there.
I feel like this is.
Damn.
I feel like this is like late 2000s. This is kind of what everyone had for it. Some sort of intro, spelling their name and like very
Yep.
bold.
Just very basic After Effects.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
little thingy. Yeah, that's.
I still used that.
I mean, I feel like it's the go-to intro.
I didn't
for
get the
sure.
memo that everyone stopped doing that, apparently.
It's solid. You know, it works. It's solid.
This one was used 2012 is what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy on YouTube named I'm Matt Dammit. I like his username. That's pretty good. Well, let's talk about some other games Danny you've been playing because I've been playing it as well because we did a sponsored stream for it last week.
Mm-hmm.
And I uninstalled Hearthstone 8 hours after that stream.
Yeah.
I could not take the rage. I could not take it.
Yeah, I saw you on my friends list playing for quite some time after the stream ended because I was doing it too. I'm addicted to that game.
I was super addicted to it. We're talking about Hearthstone. They had a new expansion called what is it? Whisper of the Old Gods. Is that the full
Whispers
name?
of the Old Gods.
Whispers of the Old Gods. Yeah. That came out last week. They made a bajillion fucking dollars on day one. They made so much money that the path to buying cards in the game to spend money was like lagged. Like it was just lagged to buy money or to spend money in that game. That's how many people are fucking buying cards in this shit. Which is I would love for them to just be like, yeah, in 24 hours we made $7 trillion.
Now, are they doing do they have any plans to do like the Magic the Gathering kind of phase cards out?
They did that. That's one of the things they did
Oh,
this
they did?
expansion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan could probably
That's-
talk a little bit better about that than I can.
Yeah, they have a new mode called Standard, which is where a lot of the old cards have been phased out of the game. Sort of like Magic the Gathering retires cards after a while and they're not playable in tournaments. So they have a new mode called Standard, which does that. And this, by the way, the card that's showing right now is one of the most fun cards in the game called Yogg-Saron.
Yeah, right here. We'll just show that. It casts a random spell for each spell you've cast this game. So if you play a mage, you cast a lot of spells, and you throw that card at the end, and just things happen. Things happen.
I can feel it just it's pouring out.
But that game, that card never raged me. It was just that was the card that I was like, you know what? I want to have fun in this game because it's a game. Let's play it. There was no salt for that card.
Yeah, it was just always just a hilarious result, and it like you never knew what was going to happen. If you throw the card down, 16 random spells are cast at random targets, including yourself, and you don't know what's going to happen. And it's just so much fun.
Yeah, it's still good. This is actually the card in process right here. We picked a good highlight. You're still going.
Yeah, they just cast Astral Communion and just dumped my hand, and that lost me the game. But you just never know what's going to happen. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I think is there 121 cards? Is that right? 131?
140 something new cards.
Okay. I felt like we opened 100 packs each on that stream, and I felt like we had a pretty good hold on pretty much all the cards for the most part. Granted, we didn't have all the legendaries because you're not.
Yeah, just a couple of those that we were missing, but we had just about everything else.
Yeah.
What cards do they like phase out? Do they phase out like normal cards or like cards you get?
Are you familiar with the expansion packs at all?
Yeah.
So they phased out goblins and gnomes. They phased out Naxxramas.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So those two are gone. They're not playable in standard. They still have a mode called Wild, which lets you play any card from anything always.
And those decks are fucking screwy. Like, talk about crazy decks. Those decks are really
like cards that are were never supposed to interact with each other can interact with that. So yeah.
It's it's Hearthstone. If you've played Hearthstone, you know what to expect. If you've never played Hearthstone, it's a hell of a game. Just expect to be the game does what Blizzard games do, where they're amazingly fun, so fucking fun, but they're also like the most enraged dudes.
Oh yeah,
you just get so upset.
It's always tons of fun until you have a losing streak, and then it's not so fun anymore.
That's what happened to me, dude. I was playing on the stream because the stream was 4 hours. I played another 3 to 4 hours after that. I ended the stream, I just kept playing. I got to like rank 15 or something. I was on a huge win tear. And then I lost like 6 or 7 in a row. And I was like, you know what? I feel that I'm fucking so upset right now that I'm just going to uninstall this game. And I uninstalled it just for my own sake.
That is the description I have for every fucking Blizzard game out there. Every fucking Blizzard game. I did that with Overwatch like 2 months ago. I was like, I had one night and I was just like, fuck this. I'm out. I'm out. Peace. Fuck all y'all. I'm never coming back.
Yeah. And that's been my experience with Hearthstone the entire time. Like I understand the game at like the very most basic level, but I never take the time to like understand or recognize what my opponent's doing, because Hearthstone is a game. Here's a perfect example. Caitlyn, StarCraft pro player, plays a lot of Hearthstone. Has been legendary ranked or whatever the fucking name of it is here in Hearthstone. She had the number 2 player in Hearthstone at the World Championships last year coach her, told her exactly what cards to play at rank 13, and lost 2 games in a row. Number 2 player in the world losing games at like shit tier rank because the card it's like RNG. Like if you just draw bad from your deck, you're gonna lose. The game is designed to be like a 50% win loss, and that to me is infuriating because all I care about is winning as a player. I find no fun in losing, and so like that. If you can play that type of game, Hearthstone's the best game for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not how you play the game then.
What do you mean?
So like,
was that a joke? I didn't get it.
Pro players will tell you differently that it's all skill, but there's a hefty amount of luck involved with the game.
Yeah, I was watching Co's camera and I was more enthralled in that. Sorry.
I'm currently installing Hearthstone again. Talking about it.
No, that's the other thing too. Is that's what happened on launch day, like before we even did the stream, because it was on Wednesday, and launch day was on Tuesday. Like, I was watching Dan play, and I was like, I should probably reinstall this game. Like, I have to do the sponsor stream, but this looks kind of fun. The cards are pretty fun. They add a lot of cool things into it. You can do a lot of interesting things in the game. And Mage is always what's that card? Mage got 2 new cards. One of them's like a 5/5 where it plays a random spell. And there's also another one.
Servant of Yogg-Saron, yeah.
Yeah, I love that card. And then there's one that plays, is it a 5/6, and it puts in a random 3/3 creature or a random 3-cost card, creature.
That's another one.
Yeah, I love that card too because you can just get like a fucking legendary card randomly put in.
Is Dr. Boom still in?
No, he was in Goblins, so he's out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's brilliant on their part, by the way, because one of the biggest complaints I had from a lot of people that played Hearthstone when it first came out was that they didn't want to get back into it because they had to buy so many cards. They had to buy so many packs of these old expansions just to be competitive.
Now that's not, you realize, JP, that's not brilliant. That's taking a page from Magic.
Oh, well, I mean, whoever did it, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I get that. Magic definitely understood that, but Blizzard's the one making the money, and no one talks about Magic really anymore.
Magic.
Is it? Well, it's definitely. Look, Magic is still big. All right, there's no denying that. But Hearthstone had a player or a streamer last week had 100,000 people watching one stream. Magic doesn't have that unless there's.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I got you. You're gonna get all the fucking idiots in the chat.
Magic the Gathering is the best card game.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I hear this all the time.
I have my Black Pearl. It's in my card case.
Anyway,
All right, y'all, I'm gonna let you finish, but Gwent was the best card game of all time.
I never got into Gwent.
Gwent was good.
That panel. Can we talk about PAX East? We haven't said a damn thing about it.
Yeah, no, we can talk about PAX East. That's Hearthstone. It's out. You know what to expect. Me and Dan don't really have anything else to say about it. But PAX East happened. We were all there. Zeke?
It was fun.
It was fun. It was PAX East.
I missed the Gwent thing. How did that go?
Dude, the Gwent panel was awesome. CD Projekt Red was cool enough to ask me to host it again, which I did. I basically was just like the question asker between the 2 guys who created Gwent. And what they did was they went over the story. They went over how they created it, like the weekend that they walked into the boss's office and said, hey, maybe we should have a card game. And the boss was like, you have 3 days to convince me with everything in that. And they like went over the whole story. Both the guys were awesome. It was one of the more fun panels I've ever done.
That's awesome. I've as of late, I've really started. There's been a lot of like editorial pieces that have gone to talk to developers about like developing a game and how this came to fruition, whatever aspect it is. And I'm really starting to enjoy that stuff. I'll have to watch that panel because that sounds like an awesome 3 days to make something that is like one of the most beloved things in the game.
Yeah.
It's
well,
fantastic.
dude, and the thought process behind it, they break it down. They like talk about their influences. They talk about like the progress of how they made the game, like where they made errors when they decided like what they wanted to do and what they didn't want to do. Like they even had like 9 slides that were showing like the layout beginning to end. Then they had the prototypes that they used to use. It was a really they had a lot of great content.
Was that streamed?
Yes, it was streamed on PAX 2, I think.
Was it PAX 2? Okay, let's see if I can find it. Do you remember the name of the panel?
It was I think the CD Projekt Red presents Gwent. Or no, it was the name. Hold on, the name was ridiculous. Hold on, I don't remember what the name was, but it was like Gwentabulous or something. It was like
okay, they might have
they made fun of it during the panel. It was that bad.
I only have one thing to say about that panel.
There you go.
Oh, that song.
I love that too.
That was such a good jingle.
Dude, I people ask me all the time, like, is that emote you have from Witcher 3? I'm like, yeah. They're like, that game's months old. It's done. I was like, I'm never getting rid of that.
Yeah, no, it still works.
It's become my victory song. Whenever every time I beat a boss in Dark Souls 3, I was like, la 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 la. Like I would just did. I love it.
It is the most for me. It is the most memorable thing from that fucking game because every goddamn time you get into a fight, there's a stupid song playing.
I think it's the most memorable song from a game, and I was going to give that to Just Push Play.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is my favorite song, 100%. I use that every broadcast. I it's not on PAX 2 highlights, so I don't know if they had to
I'll find
delete
you a
it.
link later.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm just saying for everyone else, I don't know if
maybe
it
on
was.
PAX 3. Shit.
Oh shit! There's a fucking PAX 3.
There's so many PAX channels. I'm
Yeah.
crazy with it this year.
I'll look for it. Anything else? PAX East. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. PAX East was just kind of like it was another PAX for me. There wasn't anything.
There we
big for
go.
me.
It was called Gwentception. Does a game within a game make it a better game?
Is that on? Oh, I found it. It's on PAX 3. I'll link it in chat. There's the link if you guys want to watch this. But yeah, PAX East was just maybe it was because I was more like worried about moving the next week and that was in my head. But it was just another PAX. Like there wasn't anything that I was ranting and raving about afterwards. I'm trying to think what was on the show floor. Like I walked the show floor after the panel on Friday.
Did anyone get to check out? Because I really wanted to check it out, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to stand in line. Like this, being like associated with the people who actually make game developers money. Like I can leech my way into like playing Dreadnought like right away and shit like that. But like, did anyone get to play? It was that weird. We Happy Few.
I've heard of that. I did not play.
No, I did. I saw it on the floor, but yeah.
The masks, like it was like all weird looking. No one got to play that.
Nope.
No, there's always a crazy line for it.
Yeah,
There-
that's the one game that I saw. I was like, this might be right up my alley because it's a little like avant-garde or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah, I thought that. Wasn't there not a game that looked like that came out, or wasn't that streamable at one point for like some sort of small demo or some shit? Am I just imagining things? I feel like I've seen that.
There was definitely a game that launched when PS4 came out. There was a game, I can't remember the name of it, but it had a bunch of people with masks on it.
Everyone's going to the Rapture, right? That was that game.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Okay.
There's another game that had like the people with white masks. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
yeah, this comes out in June, so I'm just making things up.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're talking about the lines. PAX East. I didn't know this, and I also didn't know that PAX Prime has changed now to PAX West officially.
PAX West.
I didn't know that was a thing until
they
I got
didn't want it to feel like it was the important one anymore.
It's not. PAX East is the biggest
Yeah.
PAX. I didn't know that until till the event as well. Like it's the biggest PAX.
What?
Yeah. In terms of raw attendance, it's the biggest PAX.
No way.
Also, they announced PAX North in Alaska.
That's a thing. It's happening.
Yeah. They announced PAX my mom's house as well.
PAX your mom.
PAX your mom.
Everyone already goes to that one.
Hours, but everyone gets a chance. You just got to be willing to stand in line.
Jesus. But yeah, you're talking about lines like that was the biggest deterrent for me, and this is just me. Obviously, people enjoy this type of shit, but just going on the show floor was a hassle at PAX East, man. Like there was so many. You'd walk down, or you walk down. You'd go down the escalators onto the show floor. There's just so many fucking people there, man. Just like hordes. And I really, really missed PAX South the second I walked into PAX East because there was so many fucking people there. Speaking
of South, did you hear they're starting to sell tickets before they sell tickets to PAX West?
Really?
Like they're going to start selling PAX South tickets almost a year in advance, coming up really soon because they want to really push the attendance rating on it because it was it's definitely on the low side.
It was for sure
because it's in Texas and everyone knows Texas sucks.
Yeah. Texas is the best.
Oh God!
Who would ever move there?
I mean, I already lived there. It's not. I didn't.
No, I
there.
have legitimate Montana jealousy from Texas because it's a bigger state and it's more populated. So.
Yeah, but
and it's country.
I have legitimate jealousy from. We'll switch We'll just switch houses for a week, Zeke. I'll come to Montana.
You know what? I would love that because then I might be able to go to a concert that I give a shit about. I might be able to, do something at night besides, drinking with the same 10 people that I always go with.
It's true. It's true. I would, but Montana has great views. That's the only thing I would go there for. Is just to fucking walk around.
Yeah. No,
anyways,
you could do a walkabout in Montana for sure.
Yeah. Anything for you, PAX East? I'm trying to. For some reason, there's nothing there.
Shadow Warrior 2 was a really pleasant surprise. I didn't get to play it, but it looked fantastic. I was a big fan of the Shadow Warrior reboot that came out, so I'm super excited to check that out. Checked out a lot of indie games, more indie games that I used to. A lot of cool looking indie games. I gotta say though, it seems it's really weird having lived through like the gaming industry in the last 20 years and had it been like being in those points where you're starving for games. Like I'll take anything new. And then when something comes out, you just dive into it for days because you're like, this is new and exciting. And then you walk the show floor, something like PAX East, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, the game I just passed was exactly like the game I saw about 30 minutes ago on the other side. And if I look over this way, there's another game that's kind of the same. Like there's so many games out now that it's almost overwhelming at times that you're worried that you're going to miss those little gems that used to be the only thing you could play back in the day. And it's kind of weird when you go to a PAX and you have them all in your face because you're kind of looking around going, which one should I focus on? Which one is going to be the one that I stream for 20 hours, you know, as opposed to I play it for 5 minutes and decide I don't want to. So it's interesting.
Well, like the indie mega booth like takes up like 20% of the showroom floor.
It's gotten bigger and bigger every single PAX.
I was amazed at just how huge it was this year. I went through and walked through all the booths. It took me a few hours just to get through. Just even briefly walking past and giving each game a little look took forever. There's so many booths.
I spent a whole afternoon doing that. I kind of made it a goal. I said I want to at least see every game there, just to kind of give it a little thing. And it took me, I think, almost 3 hours of walking around.
Did any of you get to play or see Pyre besides of what they announced? Pyre's I think probably the biggest news to come out of PAX East, which is the super giant game. People that made Bastion and people that made Transistor, their new game is called Pyre. Did you guys get to? Was that? I think that was on the show floor. I watched the trailer for it. It looks awesome.
Name sounds familiar, but I don't remember seeing that. What's it about?
Well, they didn't really talk too much about the story, but it's an RPG-ish type game. Like this is the combat right here, from what I can tell. It's very much of Supergiant, where like you look at it and you have no idea what's going on. Like it's just a confusing game to look at. But I'm super interested in it because it's Supergiant Games makes like. Bastion was awesome. Transistor was pretty all right. Definitely going to check it out. But that was probably the one game that I remember most from PAX East in terms of new ones.
I'm one of those weird people, man. I thought Bastion was cool. Never finished it. Played Transistor for 10 minutes. Never picked it back up. Like I realize they're cool games, but I feel the same way like about those games that I do Undertale, where like I understand why people absolutely love the hell out of them, but they're not really for me.
Chat's saying it's like soccer.
You take that fucking back right now. How dare you? How dare you insult the good name of Undertale, you fucking pleb?
Same thing for Hyper Light Drifter. Felt the same way about Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah, I didn't.
A really cool game, but it's just not.
Yeah, I got bored with that one too.
So
I liked Hyper Light Drifter, and people were coming in and just shitting on it because it's 30 FPS, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
a game like Hyper Light, it doesn't matter though. When you're the only thing moving on the screen, it doesn't matter. It's totally different when it's like a Dark Souls game where you're constantly rotating the camera, and every second you can see it's in 30 frames per second. If it's just one little dude running around, who cares?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm interested more in the art style. Chat was saying this is a sports game. It's like soccer.
Iris?
Really?
Yeah, TV's got it. Total Biscuit's got a video on it. So.
Oh, it's the new Rocket League. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess we're there. Cool.
I don't know.
Well, I gotta say, like, as far as games like, if I'm remembering correctly, like Bastion and this kind of like, I am not a big fan of the art style. Like,
really?
I don't like the paint by numbers like color coordinate. Like it's like, we'll have like this nice bright blue next to this bright orange, and then this bright green over here.
Right.
And stuff like I never like that. It doesn't. My eyes don't like it. I don't know. It's
my
like,
eyes don't like it.
It's like trying to describe why you like a piece of art. You know, it's like it's hard to describe, but it just doesn't appeal to me.
Gotcha.
My face was not appealed.
Exactly.
One thing that we can actually talk about at PAX East, because the three of us have never had this before. Nerd Fusion had a booth on the show floor.
That was one of the booths I was really sad I didn't get to go there. It looked so cool. I kept seeing pictures of it on Twitter.
Yeah. This is our second booth. We had one at South. It was just a place for us to hang out, like away from the Twitch booth because it's very crowded over there.
Right.
And have our fans come up and drop by, and we have merch for sale. They wanted to try to see how like influencers having a booth would be at PAX, and we're kind of like the experiment. But yeah, it worked out really well. We sold quite a bit of merch. We had a lot of people stop by. We had a lot of people come over who had never heard of us for like game companies and stuff. So it was good business wise.
That's good.
But yeah, it was a cool experiment.
I can imagine people come by the booth and it's like, so what kind of games do you make? It's like, oh, we don't make games, we play games.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, that's
what?
got to be a little interesting.
Yeah, you always get those people, or like I had a lot of moms where like the son is like a huge fan of one of us, and like they're talking to them, and then the mom talks to one of us, like, so what do you do? Like,
Man,
so people watch.
Speaking of moms at PAX East, I had a mother at the bar come up to me completely fucking hammered, just drunk out of her fucking mind, and said, so do you guys play video games? We're like, yeah, no, we play video games. Do you stream? Do you stream when you play? Yep. Yes, we do. We're waiting on our Uber at this point. I'm really wanting to get the fuck out of here because I'm already creeped out. Oh, my son would love that. Could I have an autograph? And I'm like, what? Sure. Do you even know what? Yeah. Okay. And she's like,
you told her that you only sign titties.
She goes, okay, I'm gonna go get a napkin. I'll be right back. I fucking left immediately. I left so quick out of there. I got in that Uber so fast. Oh man, that was the weirdest experience I had at PAX East. So there you go. I want to ask Dan, in terms of like having the booth, you guys said it was a test. Do you think this is something you're gonna keep up?
Yes. For at least, we're definitely doing PAX West. We're gonna like take a look at everything and see if it's worth it, because it is quite expensive.
It's very expensive for these booths.
Yeah, like I wasn't like. Did you know that like streamable internet, if you want like it for 3 days, is like multiple, like tens of thousands to rent. It's really expensive.
Yep.
Even basic internet is thousands. Like
So wait, was your thinking that the publicity would like make up for it? Like, what was the
booth itself? Like our size booth was less than 10,000. Like, and we're splitting it with another group called Minecraft. Yeah. So we divided it in half. So it's not as bad for both of us if we're sharing it. So we're sharing it with another group. But yeah, so having a booth for publicity and having a place to sell merch to offset the cost. We're testing it to see how it worked, and we're still deciding if it will be worth it. But we're definitely going to try it out at West as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always. You guys are like the Nerd Fusion does a lot of things where you guys do it first, and I'm like, all right, let's see how that works. Like, you guys are a great guinea pig for me to watch to see what works. Mm-hmm. You're out there doing things that haven't been done in the space for a lot of influencers and streamers, and so I'm just like, all right, let's see what Nerd Fusion does here.
Dude, my team, New Game Plus, we watch Nerd Fusion all the time.
Yeah,
like just because they're doing like pretty much everything they're doing these days is a first.
Oh yeah,
for like a group from Twitch. So it's been really interesting, like seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, what improves, what doesn't work. Like it's really cool. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah, if you guys could keep doing like new shit, and we'll just
we'll just keep picking out the stuff that works for us.
Yeah. We'll keep testing everything, and everything that fails, you guys can ignore, and just do the
You're
stuff
like
that
the
works.
test kitchen, and we're gonna open a restaurant with all the stuff that works.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take our break here. It's been about an hour and 25 minutes. We'll come back. We still have a lot of shit to talk about. Overwatch, we won't talk too much on. I think that game either went live 25 minutes ago in open beta or is live in 36 minutes for open beta.
By the time the show is done, it will be open beta.
So there might be complete fires in the Blizzard data center very soon.
Oh, but I think Overwatch will be open?
Yeah.
Yes.
For everyone.
Beta. I thought it was 5th. Huh?
Oh shit, it is the 5th. Sorry, it's tomorrow. No,
something happens today by the end of the show.
Oh no, it's 36 minutes. Okay. It's going live in 36 minutes. Okay.
I swear to God, I saw the 5th. And
I thought you said that, and I thought it was 5th through the 9th.
Yeah.
But maybe
now, hold on a
second.
Quick question before we break. Does this mean that you can play Overwatch in open beta without paying money?
Yes.
Or do you have to have bought it?
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like,
if you-
hey, I
if you
clicked
have
the
not
play
had to have
button.
bought it, like it is going to be a madhouse tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
It's the 5th in EU, 5th EU time. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
so that's very
got
soon.
Yeah, midnight. So it's 5 hours in the UK.
Midnight in the EU. Okay. It's
So
completely free. It's free. Oh my God. That is going to be a mess tonight.
Oh yeah, it's hope.
That's gonna be so much fun.
I'm definitely, I'm
gonna
going
be
to play
amazing.
right after the stream.
I'll play with you. Can we play together and be friends?
I don't think that server's going to be up though, Zeke.
Yeah,
so-
good luck getting in.
We'll just talk about it for the next one. I don't think Overwatch, like I have a big marathon stream planned for the launch of Overwatch. I don't think I'm
your
going to,
video.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to be
Good
playing
quality.
much at the launch.
And good length.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be playing much at the launch because I don't think the servers are going to hold up. I really think they're going to have an
You're
issue.
planning a 21-hour straight stream, right?
Yeah. So I'll just sit there for 21 hours. I don't give a shit.
There you go.
But-
do it live.
Like, I am so interested to see what happens tonight when that goes live. And I'm sure Blizzard is probably expecting it to just be a giant crash.
Mm-hmm.
So, JP, by next Wednesday, we need to have an entire new set of overlays set up with a huge gameplay in the middle, and it's drop frames plays Overwatch. And we're just going to do our show while we play rounds of Overwatch for like
true.
the whole
Well,
3 hours.
Next week, it'll be closed by next week. The game won't be playable after the 9th, next Monday.
Yep, 5th and 9th.
It goes dark until the 24th when it launches again. Or when it launches fully.
What?
Yeah.
2+ weeks? No.
Yeah, man, they're dealing crack out in little doses.
It's the best idea, though.
It's so
They're
smart.
like, hey, you want a taste? Here's a little taste for you. Here's a little taste. We'll give you another one. Now, supply's gone.
I mean, the funny thing to me was, and this isn't a slight on the other streamers, but like, I've played nonstop, and towards the end of the closed beta, no one was streaming. Like, I would sit at the top with like 2,000 viewers. No one was streaming Overwatch. It came back. Every motherfucker on Twitch was streaming Overwatch. Like,
Dude.
it's so smart from Blizzard.
I came, okay, just real quick, talking about numbers. I came back for an afternoon stream today at 1 p.m. I was like, hey, maybe I'll hit 4 or 5K before I'm done. That'd be great, right?
Yeah.
Go to drop frames.
I saw you at like 10K, right?
Over 10,000 viewers for Overwatch today.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
I don't,
And
it's like ridiculous.
It's
Absolutely
crazy,
ridiculous.
but it's also like, to me, it's like, fuck yeah, because there's a game out that I can play for a ton of time and it has viewers. I was expecting that game to not have viewers as it started to get closer and closer to launch, but it seems like more and more people are playing it,
Yeah.
and it's having the same effect that CSGO has, where a fuck ton of people play that game and a fuck ton of people love watching that game.
And it's really interesting you say that, because I remember when I used to stream Overwatch, people would come in and it was always like, hey, what's Co's opinion on this game? What do you think? How do you like it? Stuff like that. Now it was a distinctly different chat today.
Really?
What's your favorite hero? What's your favorite map? What do you enjoy playing? Have you tried this yet? Did you know about this? Like, now it's the experienced Overwatch
That's
players that are coming back to Twitch, and we're getting that second wave of viewership. It's really cool to see.
I'm really interested to see, what happens when they go full esports with it, because they're going to, without question. They're going to push that as hard as they can in esports.
They already got the spectator mode down. They got
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff. They did the huge event at East.
I saw
Speaking of
that,
things
yeah.
that happened at East, like Elo absolutely nailed it. He was doing like the shoutcasting for there. When he got the teams right, it was phenomenal.
Right.
Um,
I couldn't watch that because I was obviously there, but they had a lot of, and just in general, a lot of influencers were being used on other broadcasts, not just
Yeah.
Blizzard Overwatch stuff, but across the board, a ton of different games
But
were
dude,
using
they
it.
had Gabe and Elo shoutcasted Gabe and Tycho fighting in Overwatch.
I saw that. Yeah. I didn't get
and
to
like
watch
he did
it. but-
great. Like all I heard was good things about it. Like
That's really cool.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see how it evolves over time.
Yeah. I can't wait.
You know what, Dan? Fuck these guys. Let's go play Battleborn.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I guess we'll end with did you guys know that I was on BBC News as well as like all these fucking massive places because of a car wreck?
Oh, with the
Whoa.
What now?
I saw your
So
tweets.
we were going to the Twitch party on Friday. We'll do this and we'll take a break. We're going to the Twitch party on Friday, and Overwatch had these Ubers that
Right.
that were like not painted over. What's it called when you put a thing, not a sticker?
Decal?
like a decal. Yeah, there's a wrap. A wrap is the term. They were wrapped in like Overwatch stuff. So there was the Soldier 76 trucks. There was 2 of those.
Monster truck, yeah.
Yeah, there was giant fucking
Tracers
trucks.
ride.
There was Tracers Lambo, which I think there was 2 of those, and there were 3 Diva trikes, or I think they're called T-Rexes.
Those were my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
Those look awesome.
So the Lambo and the T-Rex can only fit 1 person each. We had 4 people in the going to the party together. It was me, Sam, Dodger, and Aaron. And so we get in the car. We get into this giant truck. The 2 ladies have to use a giant fucking stepladder to get up into this. It's just a massive truck. Diesel, I don't even know the full model of it, but it's fucking huge. We get into the back of it. The guy gets in, he's cosplayed up like Soldier 76. He's got the silver hair and like kind of the vest and the leather pants and the the glasses on or whatever. And we start to buckle our seat belts, and we're all doing it in the car. And he turns around and he goes, "You guys you won't need those. Don't worry about those." Puts the car into drive. Goes maybe doesn't even put his foot on the gas. Just takes his foot off the brake. Goes 2 feet. Boom. Just destroys this car to the right of him. He's like, no one feels it in the car. The only reason that we know that that there was a wreck that just happened is because the guy next to him was an older gentleman, and Sam is sitting in the passenger seat, and the guy's just screaming out of his fucking mind, just like, "What the fuck? How'd you fucking hit my car? Blah, blah, blah." Sam's like, "I think you hit that guy's car." And the driver's like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, this guy's like screaming over here. I think he hit the car." He puts it in the park, gets out of the car. Finally, when he shuts the door, we all just start fucking laughing so hard because it's like, you don't need those seat belts. 2 seconds later, hits the car. Apparently, the car was so big, the truck was so big that he was in its blind spot in the car next to him. And instead of veering off to the right, the car just stayed right where it was, and the truck moved forward, and there was just a giant scrape on the car next to him. And so that was the quote unquote wreck. The reason it went viral, because as we're entering this thing, everyone at PAX East is taking footage of this thing with their cameras, right? They're just recording video of it, like moving, etc. And Randy Pitchford of Gearbox Studios, who made Battleborn, is right outside. And I had pointed him out to the people inside the car. I was like, "Hey, that's Randy Pitchford over there. He, the CEO of Gearbox. He's tweeting and stuff." He ends up tweeting a photo of the car getting into a wreck and said like a competitor's game has these awesome Ubers and it got into a wreck or something like that. So this starts making the rounds on social media. It goes completely viral. The next morning, it's on BBC News, like Overwatch Uber and wrecks at convention in Boston, blah, blah, blah. It was so stupid. You see Sam's like fucking mug in the passenger seat with just the biggest smile. Yeah, doing that. Because we're just laughing inside the car and there's just photos going off nonstop. So
awesome.
That was the Overwatch incident that happened. And I felt so bad too for not only the Uber driver. Apparently we talked to those guys. We got another ride the next day. They were all stunt drivers. They weren't professional Uber drivers. They were stunt drivers. They got hired out of LA by Blizzard specifically. So like they are, he said that they drive a lot of motorcycles and do a lot of stunts on those. So that's why they were hired out for this stuff. And the guy that drove our car, the second one, which was not the guy that drove the first night, drives a truck of the same size. But he said the other truck was even bigger. And he was glad that he wasn't having to drive it because it was such a fucking monster that it has a giant blind spot to the right of the car. So just a fucking weird ordeal. I felt so bad for the Blizzard guys because like that happened. I felt bad for the Uber driver.
You were late for dinner?
That's why we showed up late. Yeah, that's why we showed up late.
I never heard the story. The whole dinner. I didn't know. I had no idea what happened.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So that was that. That was the first and probably only time I'll ever be associated with BBC News because I got into an accident in an Uber car. Let's take a break though. We'll come back. Got a lot of games to talk about. Still got to see what Zeke and Co and Dan have all been playing. I haven't played much besides Overwatch, so it's mostly going to be them. Do a little bit of news, then we'll call it a show. So don't go anywhere. More Drop Frames coming up right after this. We'll see you guys then.